Ladies and gentlemen, we have Jerry here, and Jerry was kind enough to come over all the way to Chelsea Market and share his thoughts on the music business. Let's find out who's Jerry and why you have that credibility. Talk about
Sure.
it.
I'm an artist slash producer.
Okay.
I've worked with many different artists, many different companies from Nickelodeon to Universal. And now I'm an independent artist focusing on my career.
What makes you a professional producer, artist? Is that a certain number, certain amount of income, or a certain amount of followers? How someone who sings at the bathroom may consider themselves also an artist?
Right.
How do you distinguish at which point you become, like, whether it's education or it's
Right.
following or getting paid a lot of money? Like, what's distinguished?
I think there's no specific answer. I think that an artist can be a very vast amount of things, whether it be, it's a vast term, from a painter to a sculptor to someone who makes music. So as an artist, there is certain credibility factors, such as a fan base. Are there people who are interested?
So artist who doesn't have fan base is not an artist.
That's not technically true. I think, like I said, an artist is someone who creates. So if you create something and you're passionate about what you create, I think you are an artist. But yeah, there is some forms of credibility that come along with it.
So what are your credentials? Where do you stand? Why you can give advice to all those folks?
Yeah. Well, right now we've independently distributed 4,000 copies of our last tape.
Service numbers.
Yeah, by ourselves. Basically out of our apartment in New York, and I think that's something that shows initiative, to not sit around and wait for someone to come along and sign you to this dream record deal you've been waiting on, or this vision that you may have had, and just say, I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to figure out how to print it up and how to promote it and market it and how to establish myself.
Why did you decide to become from the artist also producer? Where this line moved?
I think it got to a point where I couldn't find anyone to exactly match my vision and the words I wanted to say and the melodies I wanted to sing.
Okay.
So I had to do it myself. If you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. So that's my motto on why I produce all the music behind the words.
Okay. How do you feel about the internet of the music business?
I think the internet in many ways is the music business right now. For someone like me, it allows me to reach someone in China from America within 2 seconds. They hear my song.
And who made the influence on you? Like who?
My biggest influence is anyone out there that has something they're passionate about and they're pursuing that on a daily basis. The people who wake up every day and pursue their dreams and their goals, whether or not people think they're a little crazy or not.
Do you think there are downfalls for how accessible music has become via social media?
In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. I think there are downfalls for the major label, the corporate side of music, yes. But I think there's a lot of upside for the people who are trying to build their own brands and their own companies. It allows us a huge platform to reach millions of people. So upside and downside at the same time.
Okay. What made you start to make music?
I think the first time I heard music, it gave me such an amazing feeling that I had to do something about that feeling, and that turned into me making my own music. That music I heard made me feel so different than anything else I've ever experienced that I had to put my own spin on it, and do it myself.
What's your favorite part of performing live?
Say the fact that for that moment in time, everything just stops and I could truly live in that moment. I'm not thinking about the future or past events. I'm thinking about the right now and performing, giving my best.
How did you first begin producing?
Basically, a lack of finding good producers. So I wanted to always get my words out, and I didn't have anything to get it on. So I learned how to play guitar, I learned how to play piano, and just got in the studio and mixed it all together.
What is your favorite part of being a producer?
I think the idea of taking something from silence, a room with nothing in it, and leaving that room and having something people could dance to, or even generate feelings, too. So just taking silence and making it some sort of energy.
But do you like working with the outside producers?
I do. I've worked with Charles Hamilton, who's been in the studio with Eminem and Dr. Dre, and so many people I've grew up listening to. I just did some with him, and yeah, it's always nice to collaborate and get someone else's feelings.
With whom else would you like to work with?
I would really like to work with will.i.am, Black Eyed Peas. I'd love to work with Pharrell and put something together. I would say Pharrell, my top person.
We just disassembled here our voiceover studio. It's, as you've seen, it's in the production.
Right.
We're being remodeling. But maybe you can come next time and we can record a couple of songs in our work.
Amazing. I would love that.
I also produce in a couple of other places like Brick Art Media Center.
Okay.
And like a few other places, so we can bring like a piano and.
I actually worked animation. I worked on the trailer song for SpongeBob. I did with Dee Snider from Twisted Sister.
That's serious work.
Yes, that's my first mixtape, my first album. A lot of hard work, sweat and tears went into that. So,
how do you distribute?
We use mainly the internet, and what we do is we have our fans order online, and we take every address and we ship them out ourselves. So we get the box of thousands of CDs into our garage, and we literally mail them out.
You don't do the digital,
we do. Digital, at the same time, yeah, we sell on iTunes.
Is digital cannibalizing your actual sales?
No, actually, we think that with our fans in particular, and for everybody it's different, they love the organicness of the CD, and I think it's important for them. So that's kind of where we separate, where we took something from the past and kind of made it cool again and made it desirable, and said people really want that tangible copy. In our case, I don't know if that's the case for everybody, but it seems to work for us. So what we do is we send the CDs, and we also have it available iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff.
Okay, cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have more questions for Jerry, maybe you can email and call us and write us. Hopefully, Jerry will agree to come back and answer some of your questions next time. And it could be a productive, useful information for you there as well. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
When we do the next one, when I play the character Mr.